The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Want a bet?
Cash. Los Angeles. Rock and roll. My money.
When will they stop?
Well, now. Long Beach, clear skies.
And now, on with the show.
And oh, what a show we have for you today. We're going to be talking about all things downtown Long Beach and doggos.
Woo-hoo.
So if you're a dog owner or you live near or in downtown, this is going to be your show. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And
we're going to talk a little bit about, again, we're going to talk about the Long Beach Amphitheater, which is in the works. We're not sure exactly what's going on, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're going to find out.
The director of a bilingual musical, Go Dog Go, lives here in Long Beach. She'll join us later.
And that's Melanie Ray.
That's Melanie Ray.
So let's get to it right here. So I said at the top of the show, all things downtown. And we brought someone here who kind of knows about what's going in downtown. Welcome to the show, Austin Metoyer here. And you're the CEO, and I know you have another title as well. Are you board president or what else is?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I am president and CEO for the Downtown Long Beach Alliance.
And I know that people see the trash cans. They see that there are less homeless people downtown. They see that there are trucks that are watering down, and they all have your logo on it. So I invited you here because I wanted to find out more about what it is that you all encompass. It's a massive organization.
Yeah.
When did it start?
Yeah, so it began back in the 1930s. It started as kind of an unofficial merchant group for Pine Avenue businesses, and it was a way of collecting their shared resources to help advertise Pine Avenue as a place of business, to get folks to come down here, visit, the old Buffum store when it was here.
Sure, I remember.
But it really started as an unofficial collection of businesses that wanted to really promote the district and get folks down. And it's evolved over the years, right? It's grown in its scope and scale. In 1957, we were incorporated and made into an official organization. And then in the 70s, we were tasked with managing the downtown parking and business improvement area by the city of Long Beach. It's an official business improvement district. The city has several of them. And then in 1998, we established a property-based district. And so our services expanded, our scope expanded. And so we've had about an 85-year run.
You don't look that old.
Yeah,
really. It's the Korean skincare routine that I'm doing to keep me looking good.
I didn't realize it goes back that far. It's older than me. But the amount of work you do, it takes a lot of money. So is that funded by the government, or how do you get your? Because I'm seeing all kinds of equipment. I've seen all those folks driving or are pushing the red carts and sweeping the suite.
Yeah, so our safety team, our porters that you see out there on the streets. So we are about a $6 million organization. As I mentioned, the city did designate us as to manage the business improvement district. So we have a couple of revenue streams. We have the merchant-based district, which I said is the downtown parking and business improvement area. That's an assessment for all businesses within the downtown footprint. We have the property-based district, which is an assessment on all commercial property. And then we also host special events throughout the year.
We've seen them. We've been at them.
I'm glad you guys have been there. We do those. So we raise money through that way, or sponsorships. We get a little bit of the parking meter revenue within the designated space, and half of that goes to marketing, half of that goes to capital improvement. So the festoon lighting that you see on Pine Avenue, murals, all that kind of goes into that. And then our clean and safe services. So we do provide those services outside of the district. And so that's another area where we try to generate some revenue. And then we put all of that back into the downtown. So any extra dollars that we are able to generate will either go back into the events, it'll go into some of the beautification services that we do, it'll go back into some of the marketing efforts. It all gets reinvested back into the downtown area.
That's wild.
Excellent.
Yeah, for one thing, I'm happy to pay my parking fees now. That's awesome.
We don't get the parking ticket, so that's a different story. Yeah.
But there's so much going on in downtown, and the focus has been really about bringing people out into downtown. I know with your events especially. There was that wonderful date night.
Oh, yeah.
What a great event.
So I'm glad you made it out. It was a really cool opportunity for us. One, to close down the street. I think people love when streets are closed because it just gives a different feel for a space that typically isn't used for something like that. And then 2, what we wanted to do with that event was really encourage people who were working in downtown that were coming back to the office space after the pandemic and were willing to support our businesses, to give them an opportunity to, put the, get a babysitter for the kids. We worked with a couple of businesses that were able to take care of the kids at night. And then, grab your partner and come down, listen to some good music, enjoy one of our businesses here. And so we thought that worked out really well. I think it helped us to think about some of the other events that we were going to do throughout the year and what we've done since then. We worked with the city to get the entertainment zone established. And so during certain events, we have businesses that are able to do open containers to go.
I saw
within the given space.
So great.
And so, just layering on different tools to just really kind of drive the foot traffic back into downtown.
I know you can't do it alone. First of all, how many folks do you have over at the DLBA?
Yeah, so we are a small but mighty team. So we're about 12 full-time staff, and then we have anywhere between about 40 to 50 part-time folks. So again, the folks that you see in the red shirts, our safety ambassadors, our porters, our pressure washers, it's about 40 to 50 folks, and then about 12 full-time administrative staff.
Shout out to the one that carries the dog treats, because Boomer knows who he is every time. It's really awesome. It's really great. Who are some other major partners? And I bring that up because I spoke to a broker, Greg Gill, here in town, about some of the vision of downtown. So I thought there are other folks that are involved in what is the renaissance of downtown.
Yeah. So, I certainly would say the city is a partner. I know people sometimes think that us and the city are the same. We are 2 separate agencies. So we are not city employees. While the city did help create us, we have our own separate board. We're governed separately. But I would say a lot of the stuff that we do can't happen without the city being an active partner. So that's thinking about, the development vision for downtown and how we think about how spaces are used. It's, working with their economic development team to help us attract new businesses to the downtown. And then certainly, our elected officials and their leadership. So Mayor Rex Richardson, Councilwoman Mary Zendejas, and previously Mayor Robert Garcia, now Congressman. They help to guide the vision and help to implement it from a legislative standpoint. But then on the ground doing the work with us, it's certainly the business owners that are here in the downtown. It's groups like Studio 111 and RDC and the Design District, Arts Council of Long Beach and their entire team. They are all the partners that help to create these spaces that we want people to enjoy. And especially when it comes to the event space, right? Like no good event happens alone. It happens with a team. And so certainly there are plenty of partners that help us to push those.
So when a new business opens up in downtown, how do they get involved?
Yeah, so I mentioned before the Merchant District. So every business that opens up in downtown is automatically a member of the association.
Oh, really?
And so we have an economic development team. It's our economic development manager, Stephanie Altawill, and Ariel Meza, who's our business navigator. We will have them reach out to the new business, whether it be in person, whether it be through email or a phone call, to try to connect with them and help explain who we are, what we do, and how we can help support them. Sometimes we find out about a business after they've already opened. We'd love to get there before they do, but sometimes it's after. And then, from there, it's just trying to make sure that we are a support system.
But I'm going to turn it, before we complete here, personal in a bit. And how did you come across this position? Do you have that love for community development? Are you just a real organized person? Or?
I wish I was. I feel like I'm not as organized as I'm like, several spinning plates all at once and just making sure they don't fall.
I feel you.
No, but I grew up in the city, right? So I went to Long Beach Poly. I went to Cal State Long Beach. I, at some point moved away and knew Long Beach was home, and so I found my way back to Long Beach. And I tell this story quite a bit, actually, when I first got hired for this job. My dad used to take me to downtown Long Beach every Sunday, or at least let's say every weekend, because we would go to the main library. And so when I was in second grade, he got me a library card, and we would come to the main library, and I would check out a book or just hang out at the library. But I also would come down when the downtown mall was here. And I was like maybe 4 or 5. It was like very, very
wild.
But the last memory I have of it was when it was closing and going to this toy store. I think it was KB Toys or something like that. But then it closing and feeling like there was a loss. I know some people have different opinions of the downtown mall, but for me as a kid, it was like, oh my goodness. But I have just found that downtown has been a part of my life. Every step of the way, whether it was going to the downtown mall, whether it was going to the Long Beach Library, whether it was going to Shoreline Village. My brother worked down there when he was in high school. And so I've just seen it go through a variety of different iterations. And when I was moving back, I wanted to be able to do something that was meaningful, that contributed to my community, but also was able to like incorporate some of the things that I've learned in my schooling as well as in my professional career. And this job fit all of those boxes. It just checked right off. So it's been an amazing experience. I've been here since 2016. And obviously there's more work to be done coming out of the pandemic. And so I'm happy to be a part of it.
You going to stick around for the Olympics?
I hope so. that's a once in a generation thing. So, let's do it.
Twice I remember the 84 Olympics.
Oh, that's
in
right.
LA. Yeah.
That's so
I also
wild.
remember the mall.
Oh, dude, yeah.
What year did they tear that down?
1994, I think it was when it that was in my head. I could be off, but I thought it was 1994.
Oh, because people will say, where do you park? And I still say, I park at the mall.
At the mall.
And people go, what mall? And I go, oh, never mind. You had to be there.
Yeah, you did. That was good. Well, thank you for coming by today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we want to stay more in touch with what's going on downtown. Like I said, we have powerful reach with this radio station. So especially we're part of downtown. That's all we cater to because that's as far as our signal goes.
Not if you're listening online.
Right. Of
Or
course.
the app.
There's that as well. But I like being in my car and listening to our radio station.
absolutely.
You just have to drive back and forth.
Austin Metoyer, thank you so much, the CEO of the DLBA. Thank you for coming on in.
Yeah, thank you. And if you ever want to learn about more of what we do, when our events are, I encourage folks to check out our website. It's dtlb.org, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook. It's just DTLB Alliance.
And sign up for Mochi's newsletter.
Yes, Mochi's Corner.
I
Sign
love
up.
it. He gives all the details of what's going on downtown. That's wonderful.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mornings on the Beach with Tyler Childers and a song called Bitin' List.
Which is pretty appropriate for what's coming up next, so stick around.
All right, that's Tyler Childers and Bitin' List.
Mike and I do not check with each other before the music's added to the show. I just pick the songs, and that one's perfect for what we're about to do right now. We're going to turn from downtown to doggos. We're talking about a community group right now that is trying to get another dog park.
Ooh.
And there's a reason for it. And so welcome to the show. Michaela Salatino and Ben Fisher are with us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Oh,
Welcome.
So great. Well, I have a personal interest in this story. So you guys are looking for a new dog park, but first let's talk about why. What happened or what inspired you to do this?
The city has sort of designed our downtown environment in a way that doesn't accommodate the need for use. It doesn't accommodate the need for children needing a safe place to play during the school day, and it doesn't accommodate dog owners who need a safe place for their dogs to play. Historically, around 20 years ago, the city went into a joint use agreement with the Chavez Elementary School to create a temporary during the day schoolyard for these kids in what is part of Chavez Park. And so like our rest of Chavez Park and many of the parks in our area, unfortunately, they have issues with transients, with drug use, with poop, with a lot of different things that are very common. Like last night, just last night, we were like almost virtually stepping over a guy who was sleeping in the park, where we like to take our dog to. A neighbor who's 21 years old said when she was at that elementary school, she wouldn't go to the back of the school when they knew not to go to the back of the schoolyard because there would be homeless people back there. So it's not something new for the kids. And then for the dogs, it's sort of, it's been a little bit of a longstanding issue. Lincoln Park used to have a decently sized dog park, not ideally sized, but decently sized dog
yeah.
park. And when they redesigned it into nothing. And so we went there the other day, and there was human feces on the ground. There weren't dog owners there. We talked to a dog owner in the area who said she just doesn't use it over there because it's too small. It's, I don't know what the exact dimensions are, but maybe 50 by 30 or something. You couldn't throw a ball. A dog can't run. And they also developed a lot of new condos in our area that are really dog friendly, and it's drawn a lot of dogs and their families into our area. And there's been no history of dog issues like with humans at this park. Some of the, totally unacceptable stuff, like there's been kids in this area who've gotten poop on them. Well, I found out from my 21-year-old neighbor, she was getting poop on her 20 years ago. But, for some reason, this is getting a lot more attention now.
Well,
and what I spoke with the principal actually a few days ago, super nice lady, Dr. Ocampo, until they give these kids their own space, they're going to have this issue. Right. And until dogs are given a safe space where they're allowed to be, they're going to have this issue. And so there's this space between 5th and 6th that's relatively underutilized at Chavez Park that we've said to them might be a suitable space. And they're not willing to amend their joint use agreement because they believe they might be subject to a lawsuit. But I would love to see a world where both groups got exactly what they need. The kids have a yard that's their yard, and the dogs have a place that's their place. And I think the city has a few different options for that.
So a little personal context is that we're talking about the school at the end of 3rd, just before the freeway, and there's a large grassed area there that was, it's all fenced in. So it's a great place for dogs to go and run. And for the last 5 years, I've been taking Boomer there. And then I think it was late October, early November, we found the gates locked to open, and then found out that the school had a little complication or was upset about what was going on there. That's the background for what they're talking about, a new dog park in that area. And one of the things that I've noticed was that there's a lot more dogs in Long Beach, especially since 2020.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. People got them for companions.
I guess.
During lockdown, maybe.
There's an enormous amount of dogs. But somebody who can speak to that being used by the local residents in the area to let their dogs run in the evening after 4 is Kent. Kent, welcome to the show. Kent McMillan.
Okay, so that has been a recent find as a place to take my dog. I've been living in core downtown Long Beach for 14 years. And prior to building the library, we used to have this ginormous 2 separate sided dog park in basically the exact footprint where the library was. And, it was perfect because I live downtown and there's no green space for dogs to play. And so one day I was out for the walk and I saw some people at Cesar Chavez, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of like a renegade dog park, And
it kind of is.
And it was amazing. Even just the first time going there, the sense of community I felt, because as living in central downtown, there's no place to go other than walking your dogs by the homeless or, going to what they call a dog park, which is this little tiny wood chip filled dirty place next to the skate park. Not to mention that being next to the skate park upsets the dogs too, So
recently, something's changed over at the school. Can anyone speak to that?
Oh, yeah. Go, whoever wants to, go for it.
I think around September it was when one of the gates started getting locked open. And I think that, part of the situation is just an escalation of maybe kids perhaps getting poop on them, which is 100% unacceptable. And after that, the coach, there was some kind of escalation. I didn't witness it, so I can't speak to it, but I know there was a conversation that was had. And since then, the school started, the Parks and Rec coach started locking one of the gates open. There's 2 gates to the park. About a month after that, the second gate started getting locked open. And we were told when we reached out to our council that they were doing that basically on purpose to deter families with dogs from using that space. And so people, are still using it for the same reasons that Kent and Ben have already expressed. Right. We don't have another space. The city has told us, well, you could go to Lincoln Park, you could go to El Dorado, which you actually have to pay for parking, and that's not acceptable. Even going to places like Rec Park or Rosie's Beach, we could do that maybe on a weekend, but on a day-to-day basis, especially those of us with large dogs, it's not an option. Whether we can run them or not. Like, they need exercise. Not only that, they need to socialize with their kind. These spaces create an opportunity for our neighbors to meet one another, to connect.
That's a cool
Ever
part of it.
since we've had our dog, the last year we've had her, since we adopted her, we have met so many more of our neighbors. Our community has expanded. And in a time of crisis, that could be a really wonderful, resilient thing to have, is, to know your neighbors.
And I know exactly.
So we can't be going to Rec Park and Rosie's Beach, every day after work. Yeah. We have no parking. And so we can't be moving our cars and then come back and have to park in the red. There's a lot of logistical issues. So we need a place we can walk to that we feel is safe, that creates community. And the downtown area, besides people maybe getting dogs during COVID, since before that, all of the redevelopment, a lot of these large buildings appeal to families with dogs. So the population of dogs in downtown has grown a lot. Yeah. Yet the dog park that used to be there, that Kent was talking about, that is about the footprint of the library, I did a Google Earth view on that, and it was about half an acre large.
Great place
and
for
when
dogs.
you research how big a dog park should be, it should be between 1 to 5 acres. So it was half an acre. And now the 2 little dog spaces that we have, that they're telling us to go use, the dogs can't even run in there, for one. It creates more opportunities for dogs to fight because they're in an enclosed space. And I think it's maybe 0.1 acre is maybe the size of the dog park now. And it's split into 2.
And I've been going there, and if you've been there on a Sunday morning and watched the dogs running like crazy, last count, there were 30 of them, all having a great time, and you cannot be unhappy around happy dogs.
That's true.
And not only that, Michaela spoke to that point about, this is where I found my community. We go there, we have breakfast once a month in the park with our animals all around. So, and until, like she said, last September, there was no problem. And now there is, and you guys are seeking a solution. And how are they being about your request for the solution?
I'll give them credit in that I feel like their tenor has come a long way, because initially their tenor was go to another park. Mm-hmm. They're not very flexible about modifying how the space is used, which is a little confusing because the agreement in place is between the city and the school. And presumably, if you make an agreement with somebody, you could amend the agreement. But
I agree.
Okay, fine. Even though if there are no dogs there, these kids should still have their own space, no matter what. But they're saying that they are open to looking into the space between 5th and 6th, which would be awesome. My concern is, a lot of times what the city does is sort of like fight you with attrition, like not really directly conflict with you, but just more be like, we're going to like work on that, but then maybe just actually do nothing, or take so long that half the people have moved out of the area, or they try to drag it out. They were saying, we'll do this Drake Chavez thing. And it's like, well, you guys have been talking about that for 10 or 15 years.
Right.
Like, all these dogs won't be here in 10 or 15 years, unfortunately. So I think that they're starting to at least use language that is sort of, it's not escalating the community. They're at least using language that is, I intend to represent you, and you are asking for something, and let me see if it's possible. My concern is, like, how long is that going to take? 2 nights ago, Kent and I were over there. We didn't get to go last night, but 2 nights ago, Kent and I were both there, and he pointed out to me that they actually left the school gate open for the first time with kids playing in there. And so some of these things, I'm like, it just appears from the outside like somebody is attempting to create a conflict so that there can be a problem, but there hasn't been. Like the coaches brought kids in there and ran the kids through the area with the dogs, locking the gate open. And there's like never been a problem, you know? And so I just feel like there's this sort of us versus them thing that's entirely unnecessary because there's plenty of resources for everyone to have with it.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to stay on top of the story with you, and hopefully you'll come back and update us to whatever happens, whether it's a yay or a nay from the city. We want to sort of put them on blast because we're dog owners here, and we appreciate having space for our dogs to run.
A big space.
And I appreciate what you guys are doing in organizing the community around you so that it doesn't sound like it's one person. It sounds like there's a lot of folks involved in wanting a new space for their dogs to run if the old space isn't going to be allowed to do that anymore. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you bringing this to us. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So I'm going to move on, but thank you, Ben, Michaela, and Kent for being on the show with us. And please, we'll have you back to update us as soon as there's some more information, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
No worries.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Melanie.
No worries. And
well, maybe we'll see you at the park.
You sure will. Sunday morning.
Right
yeah, but he'll have his leash on. That's a whole big thing there. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We just met Ben because Ben took over. There was a large group, and they were all angry, and he just sort of brought everything down to a room temperature and then started asking the city for an alternative solution.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they get it because we want to be over there. And there's a wonderful section of the park that he's outlined. He's doing a lot of the footwork to make that happen. So I'm really happy.
Well, there's grass there, right?
Beautiful
dog.
grass.
Yeah, we haven't made it over there, but I would love her to run in the grass.
No. Boomer knows the difference between going to Bixby Park, which is all wood chips, and then when I turn the opposite way and go towards Chavez, he knows. And you can tell, you can see them. They're so happy to run and
see,
run
Bixby
and
Park,
run. Yeah.
We used to go to Bixby Park, but it was too small, and she got beat up. You know, she got ganged up on, I think, just because the park is too small for such big dogs.
Well, that's next. We'll work on that one.
Yeah, at Rec Park. At Rec Park, she doesn't have any trouble because it's so big.
That's something we want to keep our focus on and come back and report on that because this is community changing. And this is the only people who are talking about this is KLBP.
Absolutely. Well, and then too, they wanted, we're trying to be a more bike friendly, pedestrian friendly, a more localized community because parking is so impacted. So then what she was saying about it's just not feasible to put your dog in your car and drive him to the other side of town.
But the other part is you can't get love from a bike.
Right.
But
I mean, it's got to be local.
It sure does. It's Mornings on the Beach and time for a little music.
Yeah, we lost a great voice this last week. Raul Malo of the Mavericks passed away after a bout with cancer. And so we're going to play a song by the Mavericks. This is one of those songs where it's such a joyful song, but the lyrics are kind of dark. So this is a song called All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down. Okay, that's the Mavericks, and All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down.
I love the music, but the lyrics brought me down.
Yeah.
It's Mornings on the Beach. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
And with us, we have got a Long Beach resident, and she has a connection to the theater in a kind of an interesting way. And we just did the segment about the dog park, and now we have the director of a bilingual musical, which is Go Dog Go. Or is that the actual title? Or in Spanish, that would be?
Pero ve. It's in English and in Spanish. So Go Dog Go and ve pero ve.
So tell me a little bit first about that musical. First of all, bilingual musical? So do they sing in both languages, or it's like a Spanglish thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that it is a play with music as opposed to a musical. When people think of musicals, they expect a particular structure, and this doesn't have a typical musical structure. So yeah, play with music. Plays with lyrics in Spanish and English, and I usually do a lot of new plays. So this is kind of a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I'm experimenting here. It is for the Children's Theater of Minneapolis. Aside, I have no idea how I ended up.
I was going to ask you, how did you go from Long Beach to Minneapolis? And Minneapolis is the theater town, obviously.
The show's local or the show's in Minneapolis?
The show here.
The show's in Minneapolis.
Yeah. And
but it's interesting that this is happening. You know, I've lived in Long Beach this is my 8th year, and I direct really all over the country. I have directed a little bit in the Los Angeles area, but mostly I tend to, direct all over, and so it's just very out of the blue.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, but you have a connection to here, right? You live in Long Beach.
Yes,
right?
I
And
love
so
Long Beach.
you have to go there, obviously, to direct because you can't direct remotely.
Correct. I am not. I'm leaving on Monday for 5 weeks
That's so
in
great.
the middle of winter in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Sunday it's going to be a high of 0.
You can have it.
Yeah, that's a little much. No, thank you.
I gotta say, I've been a teacher of the deaf, and I use the book Go Dog Go.
Oh,
it's huge. It's huge.
Really?
Yeah, because for one
That's
thing, it's
awesome.
repetitive, and the prepositions.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about the language and the prepositions in the box, out of the box, around the this, around the that. So I'm very familiar with the book. I don't want to ruin the ending of it. But there's a hat. If I remember correctly, there's a hat involved.
There is a hat involved. Yes.
Do you like my hat?
I have a wonderful costume designer, Danielle Nieves, who is designing these fabulous hats. And it's not easy to make. So it's important in the script. The writers Stephen Dietz and Allison Gregory say that it's important that the actors don't actually act like dogs. It's more like dogs playing people as opposed to people playing dogs.
Oh.
So they have noses and they have tails and they have these fun, colorful outfits, but they're not running around barking.
Good to know.
What attracted you to the material?
Like I said, it's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. So I always like to challenge myself, but it's also just super, super joyous. It's funny and joyous and light and full of surprises. And, I'm trying to I'm going to make this play accessible for 2-year-olds and 90-year-olds. I really want to make it just a fun, joyous, colorful delight, and the music is fantastic. We have a great musical director. So the play has been done traditionally in just English, and this is a new version, this bilingual version. So we're now skewing the music a little bit more, giving it more of a Latin flair, and just drawing from all different Latin countries. So,
and let's plug, because if you're listening in Minneapolis, you can go out and see the show. It's at the United Health Group stage, right? And that's going to be from January 20th to February 22nd.
It's at the Children's Theater.
Got it.
The Children's Theater, that might be a particular stage. It's the largest children's theater in the United States. It's an 800-seat house.
Wow.
It's huge. Yeah. So yes, come if you're in Minneapolis and listening to Long Beach radio. Please come.
Just bundle up if you're coming. Your connection to Long Beach. Did you go to school here?
I did not. No, I teach at UC Irvine. I'm head of directing at UC Irvine. I used to live in LA. I lived in Venice for a very long time. But when I got that job, it was just too far for me to commute. So I landed right in the middle between LA and Irvine. And I love it here. It's a great town. I live in Wrigley.
Oh,
I love my neighborhood.
That's where I moved when I first came to Long Beach, Wrigley.
I live on Daisy Ave, so I get the whole
Christmas lane.
Christmas lane, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I won second place 2 years ago.
No kidding. What did you do? Was it your costume? What was it?
No. We have our just Christmas decorations competition on the street, actually in this neighborhood. And I have to give a plug for Matt Cheney, who helped me out. Yeah, we did a Surfer Santa in a surfer van, and when you opened up the doors, there were all these presents spilling out. Last year, I did Buddha Santa, which I thought was really wonderful, but I didn't win a prize, or anything.
When is it this year? Did it already happen?
Probably.
No, it's happening. I think it's this weekend.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
yeah, I think that the competition is one weekend, and then like the next
the parade.
I think parade.
Oh, that's
is
right.
soon
Because
after
last
that.
weekend was Belmont Shore.
Yeah.
So
Okay, here's the flyer. So the parade is the 13th. Wow.
That is this
Okay.
weekend.
Yeah. So the contest is the 12th. So I don't
right.
have time to do the contest this year because I leave on Monday. But yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
But yes, I love Long Beach, and I feel it's in a really good place right now. There's a lot of really cool changes happening. I love what's happening downtown with the art. And a lot of great community events. So I'm really enjoying living here, and I have to say I didn't know about you guys, so now I know, and I'm really gonna listen to you.
Nobody knows we're here.
tell everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 99.1.
Yay!
Now, Melanie's been associated with the Long Beach Community Theater here in
Yes.
their speakeasy events. And I just got a chance to sit back on stage after a hiatus of 12 years and got to do a little performance piece. And I'm looking forward to the next one. So it's awesome. I'd love to have you do something here in Long Beach, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'll play a dog. I will happily do that. That's
My
great.
dog always wants to hear about what's going on.
Oh,
on
no.
Zoom.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Baja.
She's showing, oh, look how cute.
He wants to be in the play, but
He's got hazel
He gets
eyes.
to be in the play.
Well, Boomer's down here on the floor behind us there.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
asleep behind the console, as he does every week when we do our show, because we're not interesting to him enough, I gather, to stay awake. So, but Juliette Carrillo, director from UC Irvine and also the director of Go Dog Go in Minneapolis, but a Long Beach resident here. And thank you so much. Good luck on the theater run.
oh yes.
Or, wait a minute,
Thank you.
break a leg. I almost cursed
Yes,
her.
break a leg. I will.
That's awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye now. That's so great. It's great to have good guests coming from all over the world.
Yeah.
But it's time for some music now this morning.
All right. You guys all remember Ricky Nelson, the
of course.
50s teen star? Well, he had two twin sons, and they've been around the music business for a long, long time, and they're back with a new record. This is a song called To Get Back to You. That's Nelson and To Get Back to You.
And their dad was Ricky Nelson, you said?
Their dad was Ricky Nelson.
I remember when Ricky Nelson died, and my mom came and said, "Ricky Nelson died," and I said, "Who's that?" And she went, "Oh my God!"
Well,
But now I know.
Yeah, really. If you'd seen a picture of him at 18, wow,
Cutie.
no wonder. Yeah, he was a
Cutie.
cutie.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It's Mornings on the Beach for your weekend here. Obviously, she mentioned in the past interview that the Days Lane Parade is this Saturday, so if you're listening on Sunday, you missed it. But lots going on in Long Beach, and Mike brought a story to us last time about the amphitheater.
Yeah, and it's happening, but I guess there's not much being announced about it, right?
Apparently, they have an operating contract, and they have a construction and operational funding for the amphitheater,
And they have a seating chart.
I saw that.
I saw that you shared it.
Yeah.
First of all, it's huge, number one.
Yeah, it is huge, but people that know amphitheaters say it's close to the size of the one that was in Irvine. 5 Points, I think, was the name of that place.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So, and this is going to be a temporary thing, and then they're going to build a permanent one. But it's a big venue. They've got a seating chart, and as far as I know, they've got 2 shows booked already.
Right,
Motley Crue. And then this last week they announced that Toto is going to be
No
brought in.
way, with the original members.
Yeah, well,
Are they all alive?
half of them are gone, but Toto and I forget who the other supporting acts are. Oh, the Romantics, I think, is another one of them, and Christopher Cross.
No kidding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ride Like the Wind, Christopher
Yeah,
Cross.
so kind of a yacht rock.
I was going to
thing.
say,
I was gonna
yeah,
say,
we're
really.
pretty yachty.
Yeah.
But this is over in the what is the old parking lot area for the Queen Mary,
Right,
all those
right.
that big space out
Yep.
there.
Where that village was.
Have
that
they
weird
started digging or anything?
I have no idea. I don't think they have.
Oh, that's wild. So they get to move on. It's
They
opening
need to-
in June.
Yeah, they need to work on it.
It's not. It's not.
Is it going to be a bring your own chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they knocked down that little village, that weird
I
village
know, I
that was
remember.
there.
Yeah.
That was gone.
That kind of was a scary village because they used it that way during the last Halloween.
Yeah, I think when they started,
because it was really scary.
It was really yeah, it was falling apart.
And that was part of that thing where they were going to make a Disney park and the whole thing.
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna,
there's
remember
been
all
so
that?
many plans out there.
So many.
Yeah, Disney owned the Queen Mary and
For a while.
For a
and
minute,
the
yeah.
Spruce Goose. If you've been
I
here a
remember
long
that,
time.
The Carnival Cruise Line terminal
Yeah,
now.
right.
That's what it does. That's awesome. The story about the social media ban in Australia. Did you hear about this?
No.
Kids are getting, actually, they already are. It already happened as the broadcast of the show. Last night, they had their social media accounts canceled. If you're under 13,
I did hear about that, yeah.
right? And you're not allowed to sign on or create one for a child. They say that this is just too much.
I think it's great.
I think so too. Kids are
think it's
growing
great.
up with their face planted into a phone.
My kid is so addicted to social
What would
media.
they-
I feel terrible.
What would happen if that law happened here? Oh my God, everybody go crazy, right? But
Well, remember the TikTok ban? I mean, we elected a fascist, but at least we can still go on TikTok, right? It's just
well,
yeah.
Australia says they hope that this will be the first domino in this new ban, and that it would go all around the world.
I hope so, because it really hooks that addiction part of your brain, and it's designed to do that.
It
that
is.
feedback,
and they encourage that. And when we talk about it, they say that's what it's designed for.
Yes.
To just grab your attention and keep it. And if you've ever been in bed late at night doom scrolling, like me, it does grab you. I'm trying to find the quote here.
Well, I do that where I try. Yeah, I don't look at my phone like an hour before bed or hour when I wake up to try, because it's supposed to also mess up with your circadian rhythms.
Yes.
When your brain thinks it's daytime and nighttime.
Not including misogynistic material, fight videos.
Yeah, not including all the horrors that are there.
Promoting eating disorders and suicide that has been online about.
Oh,
that.
AI. They're saying AI is leading kids to negative things like that. It's a minefield out there.
And people say, some critics are saying, well, you'll disconnect them from their friends and family because they're online too, but it doesn't make them safer, right?
Right. Well, that was with my daughter. She wasn't allowed on any social networks. And then during COVID, during the shutdown, all her friends were on Instagram, and that was the only way she could communicate with her friends. So I let her on because I didn't want to. Isolation was already a concern.
And it scares me what boys are learning about treating women from all
Absolutely.
the stuff that's online.
I was just watching this video where if you search feminism, the first things that come up are anti-feminism. Women are really under attack right now. And it's all related to that. You saw the recent Trump, laying into women. You're stupid, you're industry, you're this, you're that. And it's all related. It's all related to the misogynist videos. You got these 20-year-old guys telling you what's wrong with women. It's like, what do you even know? You just got here.
And the whole thing about
it's infuriating.
I don't feel like I'm under attack, but this whole toxic male and males that are feeling like their masculinity is being stripped, that's unusual to me. But I don't hang around with 32-year-olds and people that feel like
right.
I don't get it though, but I'm not supposed to.
Well, yeah.
Hang on one second. I want to find this.
Yeah, you're not their target.
But
There's also a lot of talk about, and they don't come up on my feed for obvious reasons, but about trad wives, like traditional wives.
Yes, that's starting.
That whole culture is funded by the right. That and the thing is, I think our brains kind of weren't set up well for smartphones, because what people still don't understand on a very deep level is that that's all performative. So as a traditional wife, and I can my things, and then I do this, and then I do this for my husband and my kids, and I do nothing for myself. and then you have Republicans saying that women shouldn't vote. These are things that are being spoken in the mainstream now, right? But that trad wife turns off her camera and goes on to live her regular life. Or what's his name's wife, the widow.
Yes, your
right?
point.
What's his name? Charlie Kirk, who was saying women shouldn't work and women should be subservient and women should do this and women should. Meanwhile, his wife is out there making millions of dollars and still somehow promoting this thing. I mean,
awesome.
it is all tied in.
Yeah, no, it really is. And the people that live there's documentary series now about the families that were raised on social media, and they had like 5 million people watching them, and all of a sudden everything starts to go sour as they go behind the scenes and realize you're destroying your kids' lives.
There was a woman about a year ago, right, who went to jail for abusing her kids.
Yeah.
And she had this whole, so I think people don't understand it's about as realistic as sitcoms. When content creators are making stuff, it's, and
you don't think of it that way, but you're right.
It is. And just like reality TV, all that stuff is scripted. None of that is authentic. And that's somehow what we're measuring ourselves up to.
There you go. That's a good point. All right. Well, we're out of time. So it's time for us to say goodbye for another week. But we will also say goodbye with a piece of music.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is brand new from Brandy Carlisle, and a song that is kind of appropriate for some of the discussion today.
I thought
Church and State.